All right. So, man, there's this one of these little fuzzy guys in there on that microphone, and keeps rubbing up against my bald forehead, and is a little weird. Anyway, so we have both. Oh, we have the H9 app running. Hoot. And we also have the Variax Workbench, which I hope is not connected. Dang it! Oh, because I turned the guitar off and turned it on again. No worries. No worries. Whoop! Getting rid of Variax Workbench, opening Variax Workbench. Hopefully it'll work. Not connected, question mark. Downloading all your guitars. Kunk, it worked, yay, look, you can tell. See, I can change the pretend body of the guitar. Anyway. So, actually, this is not what I've been working on. It's not the Variax. I mean, I've been using the Variax. But what I've been working on, and the thing that I wanted to share, is this layout that I created in MIDI Designer. 2 pages. Well, a left page and a left side and a right side. So, technically 2 pages. But each one of these allows me full access to 96 presets on a single PitchFactor. So the right side, blink, blunk, blunk. You can't see this, but the PitchFactor is also changing patches, and there's an octaver one. There's a different octaver one. So all these in this line are all called octaver. So they're all, using that one particular algorithm. All of these use the diatonic algorithm, right? And you also may have noticed that there's also this little box here that I'm hand scrolling right now. Did that actually do anything? Let's see if that does anything. Oh, yes, it does. It changes patches also on the eventides. But you notice they're really wide and big boxes, but they don't have any text attached to them because I haven't actually gone ahead and used this advanced feature in MIDI Designer called named ticks. So once I go in there and I name all the ticks, which I would do by, first of all, going into one of these PitchFactors and, going through all the presets and giving them all good names. Then taking those names and putting them into a Google Docs spreadsheet into subsequent cells. And then doing a little bit of formatting. I wrote it down somewhere, or I created a template for a Google Docs spreadsheet. But anyway, you add a little bit of formatting, and then cut and paste, and voila, you paste it into MIDI Designer, and all of those ticks then would have the appropriate patch names associated with them. So instead of just saying number 1, it would say number 1, and then whatever the patch's name was. Anyway, so I've set this up for 2 PitchFactors, and it was really easy to do 2 because I just did 1 and then cloned the memory and then copied the page in MIDI Designer and changed the channel. That's it. And all I had to do was change the channel on this output thing that I'm scrolling here, right? That's it. I had to change the output channel on that, and then all of a sudden it was addressing a completely different PitchFactor. So now, and I have the 2 PitchFactors both receiving tempo information over MIDI clock from Ableton. So there's a click running so you can hear it. So even though these are, some weird multiples or divisions of the beat, this is all still in sync. So also thought it would be cool to experiment with plugging both PitchFactors into the same expression pedal simultaneously. So I have one expression pedal here on the floor. Root. Close up. Oh my god. There's my expression. Well, actually I have 2 expression pedals, but each one has an output cable, so I've just plugged both the output cables into one expression pedal, which is fine. You're allowed to do that, evidently. P.S. Next time, keep track of where the tripod goes. Anyway, so if I use the one pedal, changes the patches on both pitch factors simultaneously. And anytime I want to, change the tempo, you just... Oh, that was dumb. Go into Ableton, type in a new tempo. Here, I'll put them both on the same exact patch. It occurs to me that I should have put in a feature so that when you select no patch, as I am doing here on both left and right, that it bypasses these two things, but it doesn't do that. So I got to figure out how to do that. But for now, we'll just bypass the first one. And then the second one, oh, we can turn the click off, because that is kind of annoying. What did I want to do with just one pitch factor at a time? Oh, for example, the synth. Here's a synth. Boop, the very last patch. Gunk. There we go. Because the delay is going into it. There we go. Get rid of that. So I know all these are going to be synth patches because I organized all these pitch factor patches by algorithm. So all the synth are over here at the end under synth. I felt like I only needed 4 of those to really represent what it was capable of, and wanted to give more space to the arpeggiator because that's really cool. In fact, let's do 2 arpeggiators simultaneously, see what happens. Let's go instead on a quadrophract. It works, That's me going crazy with the pedal. Because they're both, that's without the pedal. Then with it. So anyway, because both pitch factors are hooked up to the same, expression pedal. It's nuts. I mean, why stop at that? We can do this. 2 whammy pedals. 2, I'm sorry, not whammy, pitch flex. Because we don't want to use the trademarked whammy name. But anyway. I mean, 2 whammies, why not? About synth into crystals. That could be cool. Well, maybe not that terrible. No, not, There we go. Gotta really go over the crystals patch, I think. The expression pedal just kills the dry signal, which is not a great choice, so I gotta fix that. Another cool thing that this sort of menuing system gives you is, you can be at a session and be like, ooh, what about this micro pitch chorus? And then, it's one button press away. And then when you need to go for your whammy, it's right there. And then back to the chorus. It's all just one. You can, of course, make these respond to external MIDI commands if you want. just a parallel. The R modulator is, when you turn off the modulation, it's just a parallel pitch shifter, meaning it's not diatonic. It's not in the key. But like, that's heavy, so what would happen if you layered two of them? Or two different. Starts to get like... So anyway, in my mind, the PitchFactor is probably one of the top 5 greatest effects pedals of all time, if not top 3, and one of the top 5 best effects processors of all time. I mean, I know people would argue, oh, but the H9 has all the same algorithms. Yeah, but the H9 does not have this crazy display that shows you when you're in a diatonic thing, like the Quadravox or the diatonic algorithm, shows you what key you're in. That is madness to me. And you can set it just by leaning. I mean, these are up on the desk, so it's hard to do this. Now, I can either move the pedals to the floor or stick my foot up on the desk, neither of which are good options. So, of course, the least bad option is to stand on the chair and probably kill myself, but hopefully get some kind of decent... Alrighty, let's see if we can do this. Here we go. Why is this not getting... Am I losing my marbles here? What is happening? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's too high for it. Anyway, so the point was that was... C minor. All right, anyway, so now we'll set this one to... Wait, why is this one in major and when this one is in minor? I guess I better not set them up that way in the future. I should probably stick to one or the other. Oh, I can change that right here. Major, minor, C minor. Oh, I don't even need to tune it. There, I can just change it. Now they're both in C minor. Okay, so C minor. Let's see. Oh, and one of them's off. There you go. I mean, I agree sort of with the idea that on these diatonic patches, you can't really use the expression pedal in the same kind of way, bending notes and stuff, that you can with the pitch flex one. But I still think because the PitchFactor is actually processing audio that's coming from an instrument that has, strings on it, and therefore an infinite number of potential variations in sound timbre and quality and articulation and note choice and phrasing and chord stuff and whatever you want. There's an infinite variety of different possibilities. A MIDI keyboard has 128 different velocity levels. That's it. This guitar has at least 129. If not 129 million. So I mean, you can the slightest little... I can do that on a MIDI guitar. Not to sound like an old fogey who's like, get off my lawn, rah, you young whippersnappers with your MIDIs these days. It is a little bit like that. Anyway. what have we learned? We've learned to always keep your patches in either major or minor, but not mix them up because then it gets really confusing. God, just like the mind reels. I mean, honestly, here's this into that. I'm like, oh wait, maybe like I can't. Oh, my brain's gonna explode. Crystals into crystals. Like, why not? Who cares? Let's do it. See what happens. One of these crystals has too much dang reverb on it. Is it you? Well, whoever it is. Okay, so why the pitch factor is actually way better than the H9, and this is coming from a guy who has at least 5 H9s. Currently sitting on a pedal board, going unused and waiting to be sold. Although the H9 can do everything that the pitch factor can do, and it can also do everything space and the mod factor and the time factor can do. And also bonus crazy things that only H9 Ultra can do, like the Ultra Taps, for example, algorithm. The pitch factor's got it beat on 2 things. Number one, one knob per parameter is amazing. Number 2, the display. I can see what key I'm in. So it's like that, those 2 things. And then when you also consider the fact that, like, there is a, where is it? There's an octaver in here. Here, just nothing. Just versus maybe not acoustic guitar on that. Maybe. You know, I like. Maybe I like this. Notice you can compare all these because these are all the same volumes. Like, listen to this pedal. Anyway, and there's a couple of these. This one's just so different. Okay, very similar. There. Some big fuzzy one. Some big envelope-y one. Wow, wow, wow. These are just octavers. These aren't even synth. You know, the whammy, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if real whammy aficionados would use this. I don't know. Because I don't know if the tracking. And I hear a little, you know, like pitch quantization, let's call it. I don't know if this would. Probably need this with distortion. Diatonic things. Work great with distortion. But, you know, it's always the clean things, too. So there it is. Amazing synth, amazing octaver, decent whammy, some of the cool micro pitch stuff, of which there is an entirely separate pedal now. Eventide makes a micro pitch pedal, but you can just, here's the algorithm. I mean, come on. You store 99 of them. These are different micro pitch. Of course, what happens when you layer 2 of them? Would you expect this to like have more latency or higher noise? And it seems really something about the Eventide pedals too, especially this one, where you mess around with these switches in the back, and then boom, just everything you put through it sounds better. I mean, it sounds like anyway. I'm fanboying over here, but. And that doesn't even include the diatonic pitch shifting, the perfect pitch shifting, you know, the solid interval pitch shifting. You hear how organic it is? Doesn't matter what horrible thing you're doing to your instrument, it's going to make it sound like it's pitch shifted. The same thing. Oh, that's cool. Even when you like totally break the rules and like not supposed to have chords. I don't know if these are supposed to be polyphonic, but they seem to be glitch free. Maybe the diatonic ones that are supposed to be monophonic. I don't know. Yeah, it just makes your guitar sound bigger and fatter and crazier. Versus it's like an instant, you know, kind of weird 12 string that's all the strings are lower, and I don't know. It's bizarre. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my totally fawning review and whatever of the Eventide PitchFactor, one of the greatest pedals of all time, if not the greatest pedal of all time. I would totally argue it is. I mean, God, just for the synth octaver, like, just for like 3 or 4 of the things. And it does like 7 or 8. And having 2 of them, and then having menu control, I mean, having menu-based patch selection using radio buttons, where when I push one button, it deselects all the other buttons. I haven't standardized all the patches yet. So sometimes when you lean on this expression pedal, it increases the feedback or whatever, something random. But I want that to always be in charge of the intervals that are being shifted. So I'm going to have to go through these and whatever. Liberate them. But anyway, the point is having 2 pitch factors and then having menu-based patch selection where I can choose 96 different patches is just insane. And later, when I put in all the patch names and then we get named ticks, so each one of these ticks pops up with the patch name as well, that'll be even cooler. Yay, coolness. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and just want to say it's great to be here. Thanks a lot.